Okay, now let's go to the departments. So you will see almost similar kind of stuff under departments as well. But only the thing here is, here you will be able to select multiple subsidiaries on that particular department. So for example, if I edit it, and here you will not have any option for the inventory as well. Okay, so here you can see, you can give it a name, accounting. In case if you want to have a parent-child relationship for accounting, for a department, you can do that. You can select the parent department, and here you can select multiple subsidiaries as well. So here you can see what we have done is we have just selected the headquarters, and we have checked this checkbox, include children. So this department will be applicable to all the subsidiaries, all the child subsidiaries of this headquarters. In case if I want to use it only for specific subsidiaries, or it should be used or applicable only to specific subsidiaries, I can select those if required. So for example, I don't want, or I don't want that to be used for Canada. I want that to be used only for North America and Mexico. I can select those accordingly by just pressing Control button, and I can multi-select it. Okay, and accordingly, this particular department would be applicable to only those subsidiaries which I have selected. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes.
Similarly, I can go to classes as well. So classes is nothing but one more classification similar to department, which can be, you can say, shared between multiple subsidiaries. So here you can see that we have one class similar to department. I can select this parent class, and I can define the subsidiaries to which this particular class would be applicable to. Is that fine? Any questions, any queries related to subsidiaries, locations, departments, and classes?
I'm good.
Okay, so that completes our classification stuff. Okay, we'll take one more small topic today, wherein you can rename some transactions or entities or classifications in case if you want to. Okay, so for example, this class, I don't want this class to be called as class. I want that to be called as cost center. Okay, I can do that. I don't want the subsidiary to be called as subsidiary. I want that to be called as legal entity. I can do that. I don't want my customer to be called as customer. I want that to be called as client. I can do that. I don't want my vendor to be called as vendor. I want that to be called as supplier. I can do that. So how that can be done? I just need to go to setup, company, rename records and transactions. Okay, so here you can define. Okay, so here what should be your customer. You can see my customer is called as client, but I don't want that client means customer to be called as client anymore. I want that to be called as customer. Okay, so I can change that. Similarly, vendor, I don't want that vendor to be called as vendor. I want that to be called as supplier. I can do that. Similarly, I can do it for subsidiary, department, location, class, so on and so forth. I can change it for lead, prospects as well. Similarly, there are projects and other stuff. Okay, these are all classifications and entities. But in case if I want to make any changes to transactions, I can do that as well. Okay, so for example, you can see we have bill, we have checks, we have invoices as well. So in case I don't want that invoice to be called as invoice, I want that to be called as customer invoice, I can make that change as well. And I can also change the abbreviation of that particular transaction. Okay, so this is how you can change the or rename the records and transactions. Okay, so currently if I go to list relationships, here you can see that the customer is called as clients. Okay, but if I save this now, you will see that the client will again change to customer because I've changed it to customer. So if I go to list relationships, now you can see that the client has been renamed to customer. Similarly, the vendor has been renamed to suppliers. Okay, is that fine?
Yes.
Any questions? Any queries?
No.
Okay. So I think that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll start
Today,
off with,
so I thought,
yes, you can just go through the release notes, right? It's nothing to cover in that as such.
okay.
It's
I mean,
just give the topics.
any
It
differences like
just
you
gives
told
the
me?
topics and what are the changes that they're doing in that particular topic.
Okay, okay.
And they change each and every year, right? Because there are releases every year, couple of releases every year. So
Yeah,
they're going to change, you can say, each and every time that you can say go for a certification. And I don't foresee that there are many questions asked on the release as well. Okay.
okay,
But in case if you want to go through, there is a PDF available, and you can always go through that.
okay, okay.
One world was introduced long back. What I
Okay,
mentioned is earlier at the most we could create 25 subsidiaries. Then they
yeah,
increased to 125 a couple of years back. And just in this release 2020.2, they increased it from 125 to 250.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Any other question? Okay, so maybe we can just discuss that sometime during later part. But yes, it's not an easy thing as such. We have
Yeah, yeah,
to we have to pay a certain amount to NetSuite to get you can say to become a partner, which is not that cheap.
yeah,
So in case if you want to have a you can say understand about it, you can just go on that NetSuite's website and you will be able to understand that.
yeah. I mean, I got the basic information. I mean, whom should I contact? All this information I got it, but in
You can
detail,
contact NetSuite sales guys.
yeah,
They will help you out. Oracle NetSuite sales guys who sit in Bangalore. In case if you want some references, I can show you that.
okay.
Okay.
I
No
can get some
worries.
clarity.
So whenever you have any queries, any questions, you can always ask. No worries.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll start off with the chart of accounts. Okay. Are you aware of what is the chart of accounts?